Hello, good evening to all, my dear students, boys and girls, and my well wishers. Welcome to my channel and Easy Step to English Grammar. And a few days before, I told you a story of a very courageous girl, and tonight I am going to continue the bravery or the courageousness of that girl, Santosh. It's an interesting story, and I think that all of you are listening to my lecture, my speech on Santosh, her bravery, her courageousness, very attentively and with your wholehearted devotion. However, let us start. You can remember that I read with you three paragraphs only. And tonight I am going to read with you as far as practicable. I don't want to make my introduction very lengthy. I am starting now and please listen to me. And if you feel that you are benefited by my teaching, you must not forget to subscribe my channel and Easy Step to English Grammar, to like, to comment and share. Please, let us start. A marriage. A marriage as early as that was the last thing on her mind. Here, last thing means the least important thing, the very trifling matter, very negligible matter. A marriage as early as that was the last thing on her mind. That means Santosh didn't think that she was going to marry at an early age, as was the convention or the custom of her time. Remember it. She threatened her parents that she would never marry if she did not get a proper education. So, education was of prime importance to Santosh, and that is why she was reluctant to marry at an early stage of her life. And the prime importance to her was education. Proper education. She wanted proper education. She left home and got herself enrolled in a school in Delhi. And think of that time. She was daring enough. She was daring enough. She was courageous enough. Just like Judith Shakespeare, to leave her ancestral home for education, and she was admitted to a school in Delhi, the capital city of India. When her parents refused to pay for her education, She politely informed them of her plans to earn money. That means it was a mild threat on the part of Santosh to her parents. If her parents were unwilling to pay fees for the school, she threatened them with dire consequences that, in that case, she would earn money for herself by working part time to pay her school fees. By working part time, that means in her leisure time, she would earn money by giving private tuition, by working in a family, etc. Whatever may be the fact, she wanted to work to pay the fees of her school. Her parents then agreed. So there was no path open to her parents. There was no way open to her parents, and as a result of which Santosh's parents agreed to her proposal, to her suggestion to pay for her education. As education was the prime importance to Santosh's parents could not but help Santosh by providing her with fees or money as required. That is the content of the fourth paragraph. Now let us come to the fifth paragraph. Wishing always to study a bit more with her father, slowly getting used to her urge for more education. So Santosh was gradually proceeding bit by bit, slowly but inevitably. Santosh was proceeding further and further. Her thirst for education was not at all satisfied. So she used to urge for more education. That means Santosh wanted to get more education. Santosh passed the high school examinations and went to Jaipur. After having passed her high school examination, Santosh went to Jaipur, a place in Rajasthan. She joined Maharani College and got a room in Kasturba hostel. Naturally, after having passed the high school examination, in those days, Santosh had her no problem to get her education or to be admitted to Maharani College, an educational institution of repute in Jaipur at that time, Maharani College, and got a Kasturba hostel, and she started residing at Kasturba hostel for her education. Remember it. Santosh remembers Kasturba hostel faced Aravalli Hills. Santosh can reminisce the fact that Aravalli Hills The attraction of Rajasthan was faced by Kasturba Hostel. So Kasturba Hostel is a very famous place, is a very attractive hostel which faced Aravalli Hills, a natural beauty of Rajasthan. I used to watch villagers from my room, and from the hostel, from our hostel room, Santosh used to see some villagers climbing up the hills, going up the hill, and suddenly vanishing after a while. And after some time, they would disappear from the hill. One day, I decided to check it out myself. Here, check it out means find out the truth. What is going on the hill? Santosh wanted to see with her own eyes. So she decided to check it out. That means to see or to discover the truth herself. I found nobody except a few mountaineers. Santosh saw none but some mountaineers who took adventures on climbing up mountains. I asked if I could join them, and Santosh was also very curious about mountains. Santosh was also very courageous. So she expressed her earnest desire to climb up the mountain. I could join them. I asked if I could join them. Santosh also asked the mountaineers if she would be allowed to join them. To my pleasant surprise, they answered in the affirmative. That means Santosh was very easily accepted by the other mountaineers, and Santosh was allowed to give them company. Santosh was allowed to climb up the hill and motivated me to take to climbing. And Santosh was encouraged, Santosh was inspired, Santosh was enthused by the other mountaineers to climb up the mountain or the hill. Then there was no looking back for this determined young girl. So, Santosh had not looked back again because it was the time of her progress. Because she was courageous, because she was brave, she was determined. That means her iron will, physical endurance, and mental toughness characterized Santosh Yadav. Then there was no looking back for this determined young girl. For this young girl who was determined to climb up mountains as adventure. She saved money and enrolled in a course at Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. She collected money from her fees given by her parents or by other means, and in this way, with her collected money, she was admitted to Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of mountaineering, and it is a very famous place for the mountaineers. My college semester in Jaipur was to end in April. It was scheduled, it was fixed that her college semester in Jaipur was to end in April. But it ended in the 19th of May. But the college semester ended in the month of May. And I was supposed to be in Uttarkasi on the 21st. So it was supposed that she would go to Uttarkasi on the 21st, 19th of May, and she was supposed to go to Uttarkasi on 21st. So I did not go back home. She was so courageous, she was so brave that she did not go back home. Instead, I headed straight for the training. She went to Uttarkasi for her training in mountaineering, for her training in adventure. I had to write a letter of apology to my father. Yes, she kept her father in mind and apologizing her father, she wrote a letter to her father. Apologizing, she wrote a letter to her father, without whose permission I had got myself enrolled at Uttarkasi. And without the permission of the father, it was not possible for any girl to be admitted to any institution at that time. But Santosh was admitted to the mountaineering course at Uttarkasi without the permission of her father. However, that's the end tonight, and I hope that the next night I will be able to finish this story. And I think that this is a very interesting story. It is the story of a girl with iron will, strong determination, and mental toughness. So, Santosh should be praised by all. And let me stop here. Don't forget to subscribe, please. And I think that I would be able to complete the story the next night. Thank you, all of you. Wishing all of you your happy life, your happy exam, and I think that you will listen to my reading without skipping a single line. Thanking all of you. Good night.